Hey guys, it's Jackster, and welcome to today's Reddit looking at thing. Today we're looking at stuff mom groups say. And, yeah, I, I was just scrolling down the main feed to see if there were any good subreddits, and I found this one, and I was like, oh yeah, that one exists. So here we are. Anyways, still sick in case you were wondering. Ain't on post because I'm ashamed. So I joined this group and quickly learned the psychological and physical effect of spanking. I immediately tried to tone down on hitting my child as much, but today he climbed out of his car seat. I don't put the straps over his shoulders but under his armpits because he will slide out of them. He has learned how to wiggle completely out of the car seat and move around freely in the back seat. I told him repeatedly to get back in his seat, and when he kept refusing, I got to the point where I pulled over and spanked him so hard he still has welts and is bruising 4 hours later. I'm scared his daycare is going to see the marks and call CPS on me. Is there a way I can make the welts and bruising go down faster? I swear I'll never spank him again. I just lost my temper. I know I will get hate. I promise I'm working on it. No. Stop hitting your children and being like, oh my gosh, it was an accident. I was angry. Yeah. When your toddler steals your thunder at your first home birth at 40, doing nude laps in the birth pool you didn't get to use, and drinking your placenta fruit smoothie like she's at a swim up pool bar. I like this tag. It's not cannibalism if it's a smoothie. Yikes. Witch hazel is so rough on the skin. This baby is 5 weeks old. Okay. Any natural remedies that y'all know for intense cradle cab slash seborrheic dermatitis? 5 weeks old. I've been putting coconut oil on it and washing with a little Roner's soap, and then putting witch hazel on and using it with a very soft toothbrush and flake it. I'm almost worried that she might be infected because it's a little stinky. I'm sure there is also... What are you putting on your baby's face? Stop. And don't use a toothbrush on their face. Toothbrushes are really tough on skin. Unfathomable stupidity. I can't wait. Some mom groups' posts make me cringe and die a little. Others make me hopeless and wish humans would just stop breeding. Yeah. So my daughter started having random fever on Sunday of 102. Then on Monday I noticed she wasn't wanting to eat. Tuesday same 102 and no appetite. But now she says her mouth hurts. I checked her mouth twice and now see a lot of canker sores. Is that like cuts on the inside of your mouth? I don't know. I think it is. Is that what you guys call them? I just call them ow, my mouth hurts. On her tongue, and and immediately thought HFM. What's HFM? It's It's not. Today I noticed her gums are super swollen. It's almost engulfed her back molar. I was like, oh no, she wouldn't be able to eat. Still a fever of 101.6. She has no rash, just fever with a swollen gum and canker sores on the tongue. Anyone experienced this? It's been 4 days of Go to the doctors, holy. 1 second. So 102 Fahrenheit to Celsius. That's 38.8888888888 repeating. So yeah, that's a really high temperature. You should definitely go see a doctor immediately. The magic answer to all of the deodorant post. Lemons. Seriously, hear me out. I was one of the many who were on an endless search for non-toxic deodorant that actually works. Since having my babies and breastfeeding, my usually non-existent BO is disgusting. Someone told me to try a lemon, and guess what? I've been doing it for 3 months now, and my BO has been completely gone since day one. I cut a lemon in half and stick it in the fridge. Whenever I remember, I just swipe it under my arms and poof, no BO for days. Not only does it work, but I only do it every couple of days and I do not smell at all. What is more cheap, natural, and effective than that? Please try it and report back if it worked for you. I would love to know if this is magic or if it works for everyone. That's not good for don't use lemons because your underarm skin is very sensitive. And yeah, citrusy and acidic things do kill the smell, but it's not good for your skin. Need some advice. My husband's cousin can't have kids. My husband and her is hoping I have twins so we can give one of the babies to her, but I don't honestly think I can do that. His little cousin and I had a small business together to raise money so she could get a sergeant, a surrogate probably. She then decided she didn't want a baby and got a dog. Long story short, I don't want to give up my baby. Yeah, no, you're in the right. You don't have to give up your baby. Started cloth diapering just for the cute prints. Love that they have so many 420 diapers. Oh no. Out there. This is the first green themed one Oh my gosh, no. Boyfriend says I don't need prenatal care. 1 second, I'm gonna sneeze. I lied. I went to Planned Parenthood once, and they told me I was pregnant. That's the only time I have been to any doctor appointment. They told me I was 6 months due in Oct. I told them I wanted to keep it. I haven't been to the OBG, and the reason why I haven't been is because I'm in the process of moving. Also, it takes a while to set an appointment where I am. I was wondering if any other mother knows of anyone going to the OBGYN to check on the baby super late or not till they give birth. My boyfriend says some girls don't go to the hospital till they end up giving birth. No, you should probably go get at least an appointment or two. I don't know what the recommended stuff is for pregnancy. That's something you should talk to your doctor about, which I am obviously not, so... From La Leche League, have you heard of this before? It is not necessary to be fertile or even to have ovaries or a uterus to breastfeed. The hormones responsible for milk production, prolactin, and milk ejection, oxytocin, are released from the pituitary gland located at the base of the brain. Both parents, whether or not one has given birth, can share the breastfeed. This is called co-nursing. Are you suggesting that men should breastfeed? Is that what I'm reading here? But yes, prolactin is what makes your milk produce. Yeah. Positive pregnancy test and / or positive pregnancy test, $25, E-Town KY. Yes, you saw that right. I'm selling positive pregnancy tests. Ever since I became pregnant, I have been asked numerous times for a positive test, so I decided to start charging for it. I will take the test the same day you pick it up. I don't care what you use it for, not my business. Oh no. Scaring your child with milk to the eye. Classic. So my boob almost had a clogged duct again due to engorgement, and I put on a heating pad on then massage the area down towards the trying to work it out before it got worse, and all of a sudden milk came flying out. I showed my 5-year-old and he got scared, saying, "Don't screw at me." Well, he wasn't paying attention, so I stood up and went closer to him and just like shut. Oh, that's so disturbing. I almost got trafficked in a parking lot in a nice part of town season. So I'm shopping in Sam's on something street, and as I'm loading my car, which happens to be next to the cart controller, there's two odd-looking men. Not bad. They look like they had dress pants and a shirt, might be kind of business-like people. One guy carrying a cloth briefcase hung on his shoulder, but they both just acted like they were on their film conducting business, standing by cart return. Seem like an odd place to do business in 90-degree weather. I took pictures of them, but just be aware child traffickers, and people who object are not always scrappy looking and could just look like a normal, clean cut guy that can snatch you up in a second. Pretty sure I'm out of their age limit. That's the wrong there. But I worry about my daughters and granddaughters and grandsons and sons because they'll take anybody. No, that just looks like two normal people just chilling. This guy's maybe texting someone to come pick him up. This guy is obviously on the phone. He might be answering a phone call while maybe someone else is in the store. And yeah. Okay, I may not know how trafficking and random abductions happen, but these guys look ridiculously suspicious to me. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that when we get a PSA announcement about it, and to watch for it during the time of, you can never be too careful. There may be two normal businessmen conducting business on their phones, leaning next to the cart corral. This is a perfect example of, if it isn't happening to you, it's not happening. Newsflash, you're not the only person in this world. Things happen to others that you will never hear about or know. Sorry I bothered y'all. Just trying to help. Clearly you don't want or need it. Just keep being you. The thing is, just because someone looks a certain way doesn't mean they're a certain person that you think they are. So let me get this straight. Trafficking at the Walmart outlet malls, several different Targets, and now Street Sam's. Damn, you'd think with all this trafficking going on, the authorities would be all over it, and the news channels would be dispersing this information in the interest of the public's safety. Okay. That was weird. Yes, the government is definitely switching out your child's vaccines. Hey, mamas. Touchy subject, but anyone else had doubt about baby's 6-week, 4-month ECT immunizations since COVID? I feel I am having so much anxiety and doubt and trust in the system since the pandemic, thinking, have they changed the formula in this I almost swore. Immunization, or are they actually putting the COVID vax in my baby instead? Or what are they actually injecting in my baby? Has anyone asked the GP if you can view the bottle before they inject it? It's probably my brain overthinking, but anyone else been in this situation? No judgment, please. I can assure you, every time I've ever gone to get a vaccine, they have the vial right there. I'm sure you can just be like, hey, can I see the vial? Wow. And I'm pretty sure they'll say, yeah, go ahead. I mean, once they've taken the liquid out of it, most likely. But get your vaccines. And I don't think they do COVID immunizations for babies. Don't quote me on that. Okay. If I get essayed, I'll have the baby because David was conceived in sin. The doctor tells me the baby is dead inside of me. I will carry it because God raised Lazarus from the dead. That's a sick name, Lazarus. It's like laser us. I don't know, man. If I get pregnant while I'm not financially stable, I'm having the baby because God dresses the flowers with beauty and splendor. So how much more will he do for me? If they say I will die delivering, I will remember Joseph and Benjamin. If I'm on baby number 10, I'm having the baby because children are an inheritance from God. No matter what you throw at me, I'm having a baby because God is good and I trust him. He will take what the enemy meant for evil and make it good. Yeah. The reason you're not recommended to have like 10 or more children, I think at 7 they tell you you should stop. It's because after that point it becomes very difficult on your body. Like pregnancy is hard and giving birth is hard too. And even if it's a C-section, that because the process your body goes through is very painful. Yeah, I disagree with all that. If I'm poor, you can bet your butt that I am not going to bring a child into poverty. If I can't feed myself, how am I going to feed another human? We're both going to die of starvation instead of them just not existing in the first place. I don't know. ADHD is caused by parasites. This one's gonna hurt. Diet. Our gut is linked to our mental health, like you wouldn't believe. Also, look at the labels on food. Food diet, especially red 40, has been linked to various issues, including ADHD and autism. Also, look into the heavy metal toxicity and maybe even parasites. Ugh. I actually just order a parasite cleanse for her and a heavy metal detox. Worst it can do is nothing, and the best it can do is help. We did cut out dyes. Oh, what the? Where am I? Okay. Actually, just we did cut out dyes as well. I love the holistic approach. Okay. And then the next page is the profile. Public speaker, self-made, aroma, touch, healing. 50 Shades of Healing. Ooh. That's pretty funny. Hi ladies, I'm starting to notice my 2-year-old is having body odor. I'm a first-time mom and never thought I'd have to cross this bridge at this age. Has anyone started their children on deodorant at this age? If so, any recommendations? TI, a birth should suffice. Yeah, if you've bathed your child and you notice that they are still smelling a little funky, it's worth maybe a visit to the doctor. Can't hurt. Unless you live in the United States where you have to pay like $48,000 for one appointment, then it can hurt your wallet very specifically. But I'm not asking for medical advice. Proceeds to ask for medical advice. Okay. Ugh. Gotta stretch a little. Ugh. Okay, let's do this. Hi guys, I'm not looking for medical advice, just want to know if this is normal. I am a FTM and 36 plus 3 today for context. So on Friday I went to labor and delivery because my fiance and I ended up having very rough fun time, and it caused me to bleed and have contractions 2 to 3 minutes apart. I will 1 cm and 60% effaced then. Fast forward, I get sent home and start losing little pieces of plug. Then this morning at about 4, I lose a big piece of my plug. Now I just got out of the bath about 4 hours later and lost literally the biggest pieces of plug I've ever, like someone who has the flu blew their nose for 30 minutes. After I wipe, I start having white colored liquid leak down my legs. Right now, I'm currently sitting on the couch waiting to see if I get contractions or leak more fluid. But is this relatively normal? The leaking of white fluid makes me question, as I know my water is clear. Okay, well, I was gonna suggest that maybe you were a little. I thought maybe you were pregnant because you're plug, but did, uh, uh, go see a doctor right now, please. Group B strap. Sorry, Group B strap at 37 weeks. Douche with hydrogen peroxide. 37 weeks pregnant, tested positive for GBS. I don't know what that is. Oh, Group B strap. Okay. What do I do? Was told to douche with hydrogen peroxide, but I always thought douching wasn't good for you. Don't want to go to the hospital for antibiotics. What are my options? Your options are going to the hospital for antibiotics. Why? Posting anonymously, as I am embarrassed about this. I've been dating this guy for 3 months and we haven't had fun time. We have tried, but it doesn't work. No matter what position we try, his male part is too small. He's wearing dirty shirts for days at a time and thinks they're still clean after. How do you tell your partner you're leaving him without being too harsh? That entire thing is just terrible from start to finish. Thankfully, the comment section was 95% get off FB and go to the ER. Only a couple essential oil suggestions. My 3-year-old spilled ramen on his leg that just came out of the microwave, and it took some skin off from the hot juice. Emily scooped him up and took him to cool water. Does this look like something that needs to be seen, or will ointment help with healing? Well, I can see right there, there's a patch of skin that's for sure missing. This is at least a first-degree burn. Yeah, it'd probably be worth a trip to the ER. But definitely some cooling ointment. Aloe vera. Great suggestion. Love that stuff. Literally, I don't know what magic it does, but whenever like I put it on like burns or sunburns or just irritated skin, it's just like, so nice. Oh yeah, because I burn like I burn like everything I cook. So, yeah. Oh, fun. A follow up to last month's, had anyone gotten pregnant with the pull out method? So, just asking, has anyone confirmed a new pregnancy since their April baby? If so, how are you mentally coping with that news? I'm asking because last month my period was 3 days late, so naturally I took a test. I bought 3 packs of tests and it was negative. My period came. Happy days. To be expected that my period is a little all over the shop. Anyway, this month we've been really careful, still using the PO method. But what I mean, we've had fun time like 3 times. My period is due in 3 days. Something came over me this morning to take a test for a laugh, haha, as I have a couple of tests left sitting there from last month. So I took the test in all confidence, and it came up a very faint second line. I mean, I'm hoping it's wrong. I'm hoping it's a dodgy test, or I have line eyes. I've got another test left, and I plan on double checking tomorrow or the day after ATC, or waiting till period is overdue. But has this happened to anyone? A pregnancy super close to the other? Did you keep the pregnancy? Absolutely no judgment if you didn't. My little man will be 3 months old, and I also have two older children to my ex who are in school. I'm thinking about if it were positive, how it would affect my life, and if I could mentally do another baby. I'd feel bad for not getting the one-on-one with my current bae. So, are you pregnant again, or were you? What? Okay, the PO method doesn't work. So that's thing number one. Second, I don't know if this is true, but I read this somewhere that women tend to be far more fertile in their months after giving birth. I don't know, man. Condolences, though. So me and my boyfriend were talking recently, and I realized I've never watered down my daughter juice. She doesn't really drink a lot. She loves water, but to hit me today, all her juice is organic, not from don't sneeze, come on, man. Not from concentrate and no added sugars. We brush her teeth and use coconut oil as toothpaste. Not sure that's a good idea. I'm not too concerned, but just wanted to see other views. I don't see what this is. Yeah, yeah, let's not use coconut oil as toothpaste. I just don't like the sound of that. Maybe ask your dentist, but I don't think that's right. Blue after birth, struggling to breathe. What to do? Oh, ask Facebook. Hey, ladies, so my little guy is 24 hours old, and he's having a little bit of a hard time breathing / eating. He's breathing okay in general, it's only difficult sometimes when he's spitting up that mucusy spit. He spits up mucus pretty often, especially after nursing. He was... Sorry. He was pretty blue when born. Took him a little bit to get his color. I really don't want to take him to a ped, but I didn't have this issue at all with my last home birth, and this one was a lot tougher. Sorry to come later, and I'm getting nervous. Is this normal, or should I take him in? Okay. Are you telling me you had this baby at home and didn't bring him into the... Uh, okay, yeah, 100%. Go to a doctor immediately. Something ain't right, sis. They had us in the first half. Hello, moms. Wanted to ask and talk about my child... alone fun times. So, my daughter is 1 year and 5 months, and when I put her in my sister IKEA high chair, she starts rubbing on it. This stick in between her legs. And also in the car seat, she starts to move up and down. Is this normal behavior, and do they grow out of it? What can I do to make her stop doing that? I was thinking from her past couple diaper rashes, she's for an itch and started doing it. She is never in a dirty diaper or walking without a diaper for her to explore herself. She isn't around other men either. I've read online... Oh my gosh. Okay, I doubt that that's what your child is doing. But okay then. I never understood when people say I drive wild until I looked back and saw my baby like this. Nah, this is me whenever my dad's driving. Just him turns me. Ah! I don't know. Something's just more terrifying. He drives fine, it's just like slightly terrifying. Mom asks for help getting 12-year-old to take SSRI for severe anxiety disorders. These comments I just can't. Maybe you should just let her stop the meds so she can see what it's like without them. I'm pretty sure she'll prefer taking the pills to having the crushing anxiety. Of course, you have to consult her doctor about it, but some teenagers only learn with the F around them and find. That's how you get your child to not take their meds and start doing drugs. This might be a good time to let her teach herself a lesson. She may feel fine after not taking them. Most people don't need to be medicated at all times, and therapy should be helping her through finding coping skills anyway. I think at this age you have control over her environment enough that you can monitor and make sure to step back in if she needs help. Part of improving is knowing you can. Meds, while great, might be making her feel like she isn't good enough without a pill. Just some thoughts from a new mom who used to be a young woman diagnosed with depression, ADHD, and anxiety. The worst thing you can do for someone with anxiety is just, like, yeet them off their pills. Have a talk with her. Have a heartfelt talk. Food and socks first found in the wild. My baby was very irritable last night. I mentioned in another group that he was congested, warm, and two teeth came in. Put Vicks on his chest, feet, and under... Oh no, please don't do that. Under his nose? That'd make a fully grown adult cry. Then I thought, what else can I do? I heard about the potato trick, so I decided to try it. I cut it and put 2 pieces in his socks and took them out this morning. It's supposed to help break fevers, congestion, and colds. He's still congested, but not as bad, and he doesn't feel hot/warm anymore, and the snot coming out of his nose. So I definitely think it works. Gonna keep doing it this week and see how he is by Friday. I was told to put onions in your socks to break a fever. For my twins, I wiped them down with a cold rag. Always work. Broke fever for coughing, blah, blah, blah. Use teaspoon of honey. I know it's thick, but it made blah, 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 blah. And my twins was good. Now I catch it, and having 2 sick at once, you get no sleep. The red onions, potatoes to bring down fever, onions to fight viruses. Thanks for the tips. I'm gonna try. Yeah, let's not put vegetables in our kids' socks. Please. Honey is super helpful for sore throats. That I know. Nasal spray is amazing for, like, when your nose is stupidly annoying. Except it hasn't been working for me recently, and it's hurting my feelings. You can't really use those on babies, though. For fever sucks. There's, like, syrups and stuff, like syrupy, that Advil, cold and flu and sinus or whatever. Pretty sure there's, like, a syrup version that you can try to get your kid. I heard that they come in potato flavor. That was a lie. Probably come in the ordinary grape. Yeah, that's how you rid children of sickness, I said sarcastically. Sickness is good, because it helps them build immunity. But anything you can do to help is good. But potatoes in socks sounds, 1, disgusting, B, uncomfortable, and 3, ugh. I can't get this comment from my mom group off my mind for days now. They're excited about the incoming market of newborns. The women on welfare are just breeding cattle. Isn't this basically the premise of HT? She did have a Medicaid for her delivery, but we have paid every dime since. So while they may be forced to have the child, they do not have to have the government's assistance for the rest of the child's life. If they are forced to have an unwanted child, do like my son's birth mother, find them a loving home. There are people out there waiting, especially for newborns. Ah, yes, the solution to to every problem in the world is to just one second, is to force the lady to give birth that she didn't even want in the first place, then force her to give up her child, and put the child into the foster and adoption system, which is already full of children who want adopting. Like, listen, once there are way less kids in the foster and the adoption systems, then maybe, yeah, sure, whatever. But holy, gender reveal fireworks. Does anyone know where I can get gender reveal fireworks for this weekend? Fireworks are illegal in NY, so nowhere close. Pennsylvania, maybe? Oh, yeah. It's so important that I have to break a couple laws. Come on, man. Help, I'm losing my voice. Anyone got a trick to get your voice back? I woke up with... Sorry, my... Get your voice back? I woke up with very little voice, and the more I try to scream at my 2-year-old, the worse it gets. Any tips on how to fix my voice quickly? Pretty please. Stop screaming at your kid! Your 2-year-old! Why do you need to scream at your 2-year-old? Holy. I can post whatever I want. It's how I feel. This is a locals mom's group, but for reference, it is not well moderated, as in the group moderators don't even follow the rules. Okay, let's see. Has anyone received a vaccination for COVID in their 6 to 5 year child yet? If so, where did you get the appointment? I received an email from my daughter's doctor today that it is available, but the websites will not let me make an appointment for my daughter anywhere. She is 1 year old, and the website says she has to be over 3 years of age. I am so lost. Please help. If you don't want to vaccinate your child, please keep your comments to yourself. Okay. I wouldn't do it. That's not relevant. She specifically said not to comment if you don't want to vaccinate your children. She's uninterested in what you would or wouldn't do. Can post whatever I want, no matter what. Just saying that this is how I feel. You could hurt your child. I'm pretty sure it hurts your child more to do the other thing, but sure. How many years of medical training have you received? Don't give me medical advice. Yeah, I agree. If you don't have a medical degree, you shouldn't try to state medical facts that are not completely backed by evidence. Well, when something bad happens to your child from getting it, then we'll see. Just because people say to do it doesn't mean it's safe. I've got it, but my daughter will not. There we go. I got it, so I'm protected from the virus, but I'm gonna let my kid die because kids. It's not safe for children. If you are willing to risk your child's life, then go right ahead. COVID is nothing but a little flu. I had it, and it just felt like a cold. You can be a little and scared of a small virus. So smart I could not engage in conversation with someone of superior intelligence. I don't think I've ever had the flu, specifically. Perhaps. I've definitely been sick. Yeah, I'm double vaccinated, and COVID still hit like a rock. My symptoms started off with a sore throat, really, just a very small sore throat, kind of a weird feeling in my throat. So I took a test, it was negative. Then the next day I was much worse. So I took another test. That one was positive. And then 2 or 3 days ago, my throat started drying out and my nose got all stuffy and my head started hurting so much worse. And then yesterday I could not stop coughing and sneezing. And when I went to bed, I was having coughing fits and I could barely breathe. I'm better today. Still got the stuffy nose and a bit of a headache and still coughing. Still have the dry throat. It's just not like last night. It's like a normal sickness, kind of, but I've never had the trouble with the breathing like that. So, but apart from that, living pretty okay. I mean, I don't have to go to school anyways, so nothing huge and all that. So yeah, but it's I don't know what to say other than the fact that it's not a joke. Oh, and I also had a lot of body aches. That my body was literally in pain, and I had a bit of a fever. Maybe I was cold, and then really hot, and then really cold, and temperature. Yeah. I have been mourning the overturning Roe versus Wade all day. We are having a rough week before it happened. My daughter has loved being a pajama day and just vegging and watching TV all day. Now it's evening and soon we'll be getting ready for bed. My question is, should I make her change into fresh PJs at bedtime? I've never stayed in PJs all day before. This monumental soul-crushing decision that will change the course of history just happened. Should I make my daughter change her PJs? Wait, how old's the daughter? Did it say? I'm gonna assume the child's like between the ages of 5 to 10. I don't know what everyone else does, but if I stay in PJs all day, I do change my PJs before I go to bed because I see the thing with my dress schedule is I take a shower at night, I change into my PJs, and then I go to bed, and sometimes I change, sometimes I half change, sometimes I don't change at all in the mornings, and then I wear through the day, and then shower, and then I change. That's on my days off. I get dressed for normal days. Like right now, well, today I had to change because I had to leave the house a little, for something important. But, when I got back home, I just put back, the pants I wore to bed. I like to keep my PJ pants on and change my shirt. It's comfy. My fourth birth will be my dream birth. Alright, guys. My husband tells me my birth wishes for our third child together is unrealistic. I don't think they are. It's just a dream, my dream birth, and I will achieve it this time. But maybe tell me what y'all think. So here it goes. I don't want an epidural or anything for pain. I will not be getting an IV. I will not be constantly monitored. My husband and my doula will be there with me every step of the way. I don't care what the hospital policy is. I will be moving around freely as long as I feel comfortable enough to do so. I will be in and out of the shower and tub as long as I feel comfortable to do so as well. I will eat and drink what I want if I feel up to it. I will touch my baby's head as it crowns, and either me or my husband will catch our baby. I will not push laying on my back. I will either be squatting or standing or on all fours. No students in my room. My doctor, the baby's doctor, and that's it. There's more, but those are all the tedious. Well, I know it seems like a lot, but it's my fourth baby, and I've not once had the birth of my dreams, and this is my... Okay. All of these seem fine, okay? It's proven that laying on your back is actually the worst way to give birth, and, yeah, squatting, standing, or on all fours is better. I agree with all of this except the food. Simply for the reason of if something happens while you are giving birth and they have to rush you into surgery and you just ate, well, if they decide to use an anesthetic, what the anesthetic does is it relaxes your muscles, and so stuff might go back up your throat and into your lungs, and you might suffocate. And that's not anyone's favorite activity. Okay. I know I just read this one, but like, all the way through. But you know what? We're gonna do this. When I and my husband were first dating, would be there for 2 hours, but now it's like 2 minutes. I have kids, so we have to make it quick. Plus, if we do it at night, my daughter sleeps in the same bed as us, so we try not to make a movement so she doesn't wake up. It all depends. As long as the deed is done, it doesn't really matter the time. Oh no. Don't do that. Don't have when your kid is in the bed with you. That's so weird. Natural Christian Mama's at it again, this time encouraging women to pray away their ectopic pregnancies. Please discuss respectfully. What are your thoughts on ectopic pregnancies and the need for emergency surgery? Is it really necessary to have surgery, or is it another situation where we just have to be convinced that it's necessary? What is God's true design when the situation happens? Please keep in mind I have had a recent loss, so this subject is sensitive, but I feel like I need to understand it better. I also work in surgery, so I get at the surgical aspect of it and what we have been told. I just want to better understand if what we've been told. Okay, so you're literally working in surgery. So, I believe ectopic pregnancies are the ones that, where the baby develops in the fallopian tube instead of in the uterus. And it can be very detrimental to the health of the child and the mother. Yeah, it's not good for you to. And yes, it's considered an abortion even if you and or the baby are dying because of that. A friend was diagnosed with ectopic pregnancy last year and was told to immediately go and remove it. Her and her husband both refused, and they knew that God would move the baby. They prayed over her womb and just commanded the baby to move in Jesus' name and believed that it would happen. Sure enough, they went back to another ultrasound, and the doctors were shocked. Her baby is now the same age as mine, a healthy 6-month-old little. Okay. I don't think that's how it works. Pretty sure it was just implanted still into the tube. It might have moved, possibly. It's a possibility, I guess. I doubt it, but okay. And, yeah, you can still have children, even if it's an ectopic pregnancy. um, it's still possible to have that child. There's a lot of health complications, and you may be rendered infertile afterwards, but it is possible. Unfortunately, this didn't work for me, but how great is it that it works for your friends? After reading several responses like this, I'm curious how much more often this would happen if given more time. I read a story once about a couple in Europe who elected not to remove their live baby. The baby actually survived growing outside the uterus and was born via surgery. I'm sure I wouldn't be able to find the article now if it is even still online, but I wish I had saved it. I had inflamed tubes, so ectopic was a huge concern for me. I also read an account of a surgeon removing the live embryo and transferring it into the uterus. Don't understand why this isn't offered as an option. They are going in anyways, and transferring embryos happens during IVF all the time. I've been meaning to look into this more because Samaritan Ministry's health share does not cover ectopic pregnancy unless it's in an attempt to save the baby. What kinds of options are there that do that? I have not heard of any except for the extremely rare circumstances I mentioned above. So yeah, interesting question. Heartbreaking situation to be in for sure. The thing is, I feel like the reason it's more common to just terminate the pregnancy completely is because that is much easier than the surgery and getting it the egg transferred or moved, and like that's a difficult process, and it's a micro surgery. It's tiny, and yeah, it's a lot of work. And yes, someone can be born from ectopic pregnancy. It's just dangerous. When I tell you I cackled, water broke. Okay, so I just got done. Self fun timing, and there was a lot of like more than usual. Is it possible that my water could have broken? I'm not having any contractions, I don't think. Okay, your mental state is far more important than just a safe, healthy baby. The way you the way you feel that you are treated will determine the type of wife mother and wife you will be. If your husband wants to be resentful and scared and angry, then go forth with your traumatic hospital birth. But if he wants a happy, healthy life, then he should allow you to have your baby at home. Also, it's not his decision, it's yours. Thank you. This is exactly. I'm trying to explain to him that a home birth will help me be a better mother. I have so many issues after my son's traumatic hospital birth and dealt with severe PPD for years. And even now, 8 years later, have issues. I need this for myself as a woman and a mother. Yeah. Home births, yes. Any birth is super traumatic. It's a very huge event in both your mind and your body. You're giving life to another human, and you're pushing that thing out of a like very small hole. Very traumatic. If you are going to have a home birth, there's just a couple recommendations I have. Have a doctor or someone who knows what they're doing. So if you or the baby starts to have an issue, someone can be there. And yeah, be prepared to maybe make a trip to the hospital if something goes wrong. But yeah, it's okay to stay at home to have your baby. I find it weird that we've made it a huge part of culture giving birth at the hospital in the standard way. It's stressful. Hospitals stress everyone out. It's whenever you go to the hospital, it just feels everything feels different. It's just not right. And if you think this will help you, if you think your home birth will help you be a better mother, help you overcome the traumatic hospital birth kind of situation, and help you not have to deal with PPD, which is postpartum depression, then yeah, I and you can deliver a healthy baby at home as well. So I don't see what the point is. This one, I don't know. I don't know, man. Won't vax our kid, but wants to pierce their ears without consent. Hi, y'all. Every time I post that I'm not vaccinating my child and other moms agree with my post gets taken down. But I had a question about how do I go about piercing my daughter's ear if I'm not vaccinating her? Also, if you vaccinated, I politely ask that you just ignore this post then. What does being vaccinated have to do with getting her ears pierced? 2 places. I do not know the difference, nor do I really want to know, but yeah, okay then. 2 places told me she needs her Hep vaccine. Have you asked your pediatrician? I know some do it in the office, but IDK how old your kid is. How old is she? I went to Claire's to get my babies done. She's 5 months. And if she's older 3 to 4 months, they don't ask about the immunizations on the paperwork. You just fill out your information and her name and date of birth. It's been a week now since we got them. And no, please don't go to Claire's to get your ears. I was about to say get your ears vaccinated. To get your ears pierced. Do not go to Claire's to get the ears pierced. Especially with children. Very young children. I got my ears pierced as a baby. I don't remember it. I'm kind of glad I did because I like to wear special things on my ears sometimes. And when I'm older, I know I'll probably get a couple more piercings because I'm hoping to get an industrial piercing, like that bar that goes across your ear. I always thought those were cool. But if you're planning to get your ears pierced, please get vaccinated. Especially if you're going to Claire's, get a tetanus shot at least. I don't know what age you have to be to get your first dose. And yes, get the hepatitis vaccines. Your kid, if you don't vaccinate your kid, they will be knocked over by the teensiest breeze. I'm not even kidding. I'm sorry, what? Okay. I need help, moms. I'm having a hard time getting along with my almost 5-year-old. I have a 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old that I get along with much better. I'm also pregnant. Me and my 4-year-old don't bond much. I'm always getting on him. He's very mouthy and has an attitude that can be very rude. I enjoy spending time with my younger one more. I just seem to click with him better. I don't know what to do. My 4-year-old can be the sweetest in the world, but sometimes I want to spank him so hard, which doesn't work most times. Any tips? If you want to bash me and not help me, just move along and save your time commenting. Thanks. My husband says it's his age and wait till our little one is 4. Oh my gosh. Why are you spanking your 3-year-old? Four-year-old, my bad. No. And yes, it's normal that you might not get along with one kid as much as you get along with another kid. But it's your responsibility to take care of that kid and love him no matter what. Unless he does something incredibly, wrong. But then you don't stop loving your child. You just no longer have respect for them, right? Can you plan a special date with just them? Do things they like to do with just you and him? 4 is a rough age, at least it is for me and my daughter, so I can understand this totally. She can be a raging brat a lot. As for the time, I try to find stuff that I enjoy and let her help. For the instances I draw... okay. So, so... yeah. My best parenting advice... one of my best parenting advice is do something with your kids. Learn about their hobbies. Ask to join in on their hobbies. They might let you, and they might enjoy it. Does your kid like to go skateboarding? Go to the park with them. Maybe they can even teach you. Your kid likes to play video games? Try to play with them. Ask them if they would like someone to play with. Anything. Those connections are really important, and it's what's gonna keep your family together, and it's what's gonna make you happy. It's gonna make them happy, and it helps them trust you. If your kid likes going to Starbucks or just getting a nice little cup of coffee, you can go on a coffee date with them, kind of. I know when I wasn't feeling well, my mom, she would come to pick me up from school, and she took me to Starbucks, and we got a drink together, and then we just relaxed at home in just peace and quiet. And that means so much more to me than just than just being a parent. Because being a parent, yes, you're supposed to teach your child and guide them, but you're also supposed to teach them to cope and to love and to learn. And you have to teach them that it's okay to have emotions. And I'm going to stop now before this gets too deep. But take your kids out. Have fun with them. I went paintballing for my little brother's birthday party once because I wanted to bond with him. It was fun. I got to meet his friends, and it was painful, but it was fun. Because we used those, it was the little kid paintballs, you know, the ones that don't break on impact unless they hit you in the visor. Yeah, those ones. Very painful. Some kid got hit in the visor. It definitely wasn't me. I mean, I'm not the one who got hit in the visor. I was the one who hit him in the visor. Poor kid. I had to help him out. I was like, oh no, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm not that much older than my little brother. We have a 2-year difference. Well, a little less than that, but so, you know, he exists, I exist, and it's good to be close with your family. Okay. Please keep your personal opinions on this to yourself if you disagree. Does anyone have recommendations for book/homeschool resources on Flat Earth? I'm sorry. On Flat Earth. I want to see how else will we build our new army of egg-headed flat earthers. I'm working on making a flat earth science curriculum. There's an SE resource that I'm using this year. Jen's Biblical Flat Earth Academy. Maybe the reason you can't find anything on the flat earth for educating children is because the earth is definitely not flat. And then people are like, oh, I'll prove it. Buddy. When you look out at the water, when you are standing at the shore, if you live on the coast by the ocean, you can confirm this. When you look out, just at the horizon, where the water meets the sky, you can see the curvature. It's very faint, but you can see it. Or maybe that's just like your eyes or something, but it's a very teensy-weensy one. It's tiny, but I see it. I think. There's a lot of other things. Like when the sun goes down, you will notice that, 1 second, I need to... Welcome back to Jagster Academy, where I do the teaching and you do the listening. Okay. Let's get a blueprint this time. That would be cool. Okay. So, pencil. How do I... I can click different buttons? I don't know what this stuff does, but we're gonna click on... Okay, wait, no, that's just normal pencil. Okay, color. Let's, okay. So, calligraphy. Ooh. Tile brush. Sketchy. Stamp. Spray paint. Crayon. Let's draw in crayon. Okay. Here's the sun. It's a very trashy looking sun, but it's a sun. Okay. I don't even remember what I'm doing, so we're just gonna... Here's the ocean. All this is water. Or just the horizon that's painted blue. Okay. Now, when the sun is setting, you will find something a little like this. You're gonna have... gonna have how do I make it bigger? You're gonna have layer number 1, which is usually red, and it goes around. Then you're gonna have layer number 2, which is around. Then you have layer number 3, which goes around that one. And then you have layer number 4, which, guess what, is also round. And then you get the blue sky. But like the fading blue sky. So that's where nighttime is going on. And sometimes you get some pink. This might be the wrong color order, but it works. Okay. It's round like this. Want to know why the colors are kind of like domed? Because the atmosphere around the planet and everything is round. Wow! Okay, we're done here. Anti-vax with a child who has cancer and therefore a compromised immune system, and pro-gun. Ask me anything. Why do you not vaccinate your kids? Another thing I'm often torn on. My son, blank, is autistic, and as well as my husband's son, blank. And while they haven't proven V's cause autism, they haven't proved they don't. Yeah, because it's very hard to prove something doesn't cause something. But even so, they've proven that vaccines do not cause autism. I also cannot fathom the amount of poop being placed into my baby's bodies. Had I known years ago, I would have chosen differently about the V's they do already have. But then, yes, I get some V's made a huge difference with diseases in the world. Chemo, I hate it. I hate how much poop is being pumped into V's body. But I also know that he won't survive if I don't accept it. I myself wait until I am in a ton of pain before I even take medicine. How do you feel about Roe versus Wade being overturned? This is a hard one, and I'm often torn. I got pregnant with my daughter at 16, and abortions was never an option for me. It wasn't something I would have ever done. Was HS harder? Absolutely. Did I lose friends? Yep. Did the dad take off? Yes. I had family support / help. I graduated with my class in straight A's. I had to grow up super fast, but having fun time at that age was also my choice. But I have also been to a clinic while a friend has had an abortion, and I would never judge someone for that. I am very accepting and supportive person. My circle knows they can come to me and I'll never judge them. However, I don't believe girls should be practicing unsafe fun time if they are not prepared to be a parent. But I also do not V my children anymore. None of us get the flu or COVID or anything, so I do believe people should have the right to choose what happens to their bodies, and I am very adamant about B's care. I will say no when needed, and I will demand things for him. And of course, for health reasons, I absolutely think it's okay, but those cases are rare and don't take up the majority of cases. That is not true. So I go back and forth. This is my body, but if I choose to have fun time and get pregnant, I would then need to handle whatever my life brought on. Hardships, etc. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around how it's okay for someone to kill a healthy, say, 25-week-old baby. I personally couldn't do it, regardless of how it got pregnant. Abortions, no one really gets an abortion after 21 weeks. The number is very low, and usually for only health reasons. And, yeah. I don't know, man. At first you're being like, oh yeah, I'm all cool about it, but then you're like, it's murder. Yeah. Got me a new gun since mine was stolen. He says I'm a better shot than he is. I agree. Pretty good at shooting. Not shooting in 4 years. Okay. So you're anti-vax to protect the children. You're anti-abortion, but you're pro-gun. Ah, yes. Ugh. So I've been secretly plotting on having my baby early because I'd rather have a Libra baby versus a Scorpio baby. Why? Well, my only daughter is a Scorpio and our relationship is such a struggle. Okay, well, first of all, I have a couple things to say. I'm the only Scorpio in my immediate family, and I was the quietest, calmest child. No joke. The only thing that's different about me as a Scorpio is I like to break my bones, apparently. But, zodiac signs don't do anything. It's just literally the only thing zodiac signs are is a calendar, basically. It's a different kind of calendar. And I'd much rather be a scorpion than a balance, not gonna lie. My little brother's a Libra and he's a pain in the butt. Always has been. She's 19 and it's still not the best. As a Sagittarius, I'm very compatible with a Libra. I picture me and my baby having so much more symmetry with feeding him and being easy to soothe / calm. And as he get older, listening to his mama, teaching / parenting more easily, lol. So I really want a Libra baby, lol. Call me crazy, but that's the reason that I'm hoping the week is the last week of Libra season is my 37th week, going into 38 weeks, so technically he'll be full term and lungs should be fully developed. Well, 2 days ago at my OB appointment, I found out my due date, that due to my age, I'll be getting extra growth ultrasounds and antenatal scans to check the baby's progress. So now I'm very hopeful that I will get good news about his weight, lungs / breathing, and overall health at 36 weeks, so I can make the 37th week delivery happen. I was thinking 37 weeks, 4 days would be the perfect time, but hey, if I get a Scorpio, I get a Scorpio. Folks, I said I was secretly plotting on having my baby early in the 47 weeks and 4 days or so could be the perfect time. Never did I say I would be doing anything specific to make it happen or force it to happen. So all of you assuming on what I would potentially be doing to have him earlier, if anything. As far as I'll know, I could be doing affirmations and asking the universe to allow my baby to be physically ready to be born at a certain point in the pregnancy, and for my body to begin the process all on its own. It's really a shame how people are so quick to create their narrative of what another person's feelings and thoughts are and begin to judge and attack. I took the risk with this post and boy did it blow into negativity. Which is why I said I'm not giving certain responses any energy. It's very triggering seeing that before I got pregnant, a lady I work with thought it was okay to keep bringing up Down syndromes and other birth defects when I shared that I would be trying for my last baby after I celebrated my 37th birthday. So I've been very closed off speaking on my pregnancy to people because it's a lot of negative opinions thrown around. Yeah, I feel like pregnancy is just so toxic. Everyone's so mean about it. Like, shush. It just goes to confirm that being open actually opens the door for people to do what y'all are doing. No worries, I won't be posting it here anymore. I'll just search for posts on things I want to know or read about and post watch. Baby will be whatever they are meant to be. Even if you try, they're going to be who they are and who they were meant to be. Understand your heart on this. I'm a Taurus and vibe so much better with Scorpios than Sagittarius. So I'm hoping that my baby is a Scorpio, but there's many aspects to their personality that you can't pinpoint down to the day they are born. Look at their entire chart, even if the time plays a huge role in things, and you will have no say in the time the baby arrives. Plus, ending up with a cusp baby is going to give you some Scorpio attributes as well. You're right. Y'all, OP, who is Sheila? Has already stressed it is only wishful thinking, and she is very spiritual, therefore she's manifesting it happens. Either way, she will be happy with any sign. Please stop coming for her. We all got it mixed up till she explained. Sheila, I'm so sorry for thinking that the post was silly till you explained to us what it was really meant. Okay. Many things to say. What the hell? People are way too obsessed with zodiac signs for the simple reason that they don't even understand where zodiac signs come from. I'm not claiming to know either, but I'm pretty sure I have a more understanding than these guys. So my zodiac sign, which I believe is my moon sign, is Scorpio, which means the moon was in the constellation of Scorpio at the time of my birth. However, my sun sign is Aries because the sun was in the area of the Aries constellation when I was born. So, like, I don't know. Because by their logic, I should be an absolute chaotic mess, right? I mean, I am, but, like, Scorpio and Aries is a pretty messy kind of looking situation, right? When you're thinking about it, you're like, oh, two very aggressive, violent signs, but they're not violent signs, they're just normal people. I hate it when people try to put people into groups. Like, people are like, oh, all leftists are violent. And then they're like, all right people are violent. But it's not like that. It's some people in both groups are violent. Whoa. Aunt's friend posted this on her story. Holy poop. Batman, lol, I have no words. Today is such a beautiful day for all women. I'm radically grateful there is more of an opportunity now for women to wake up from the programming of the satanic blood womb ritual that they have been programmed into participating in for so long. Oh, this is too good. This is funny because the satanic temple, one of the rituals is to have it's a ritual abortion, which I find this funny because oh my gosh. We are not God, and thus not the takers of life. The Lucifer followers have been very successful at getting women to fight for their... Okay, Satanists and Lucifer... Satan and Lucifer are completely different people. Just a reminder. Just a reminder. I'm not even Christian, and I know that. I just thought it might be important to, know. What was I doing? Yes. Have been successful at getting women to fight for their own destruction, their own womb trauma to allow intentional death in their sacred womb. Sacred womb. Ooh, it's sacred. To invite men, most abortionists are men. Sure, buddy. to their sacred womb and pay them to extinguish life, to ritualistically end the beating of a heart. But light has already won. No matter what acts of darkness are perpetrated here, those who find the way to true light will never experience soul loss to the hell realms. Okay, can we just talk about how people are always like, you're going to hell because you did a certain act? I'm pretty sure that's not what it says. I'm pretty sure you just have to accept Jesus and then you're allowed into Jesus land. I have so much compassion for those who are not awakened yet on this issue. It's only because they have been not yet deprogrammed from the satanic agenda. Really? Deprogrammed? I just signed up. The satanic agenda that pervades the earth. Most don't even know the history of the racist founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger. Her goal was to eliminate black babies. Okay, so this is what everyone was talking about. Here's the thing. Just because something was founded on bad judgment and a bad thing doesn't make that bad now. Like, Australia. Let's talk about Australia. What happened in Australia was the British people came by and they saw natives and they were like, haha, you're all dead now. And then they brought their convicts to Australia. But that doesn't mean now that every single person in Australia is a criminal. You see what I mean? So just because one thing happened doesn't mean the entire rest of the thing happened. I don't think it's satanic. Nothing that I teach is my opinion or a result of my thinking. Everything I teach is what has been shown to me. A life is murdered in the womb. That is a satanic ritual that has been pushed onto women. No, it's definitely not a ritual pushed onto women. It's a ritual that women are allowed to participate in. The ego accepts it because of self-serving wants. It's inconvenient, so that justifies a murder. Can we justify murdering anyone else? So you don't support the lethal injection. You don't support assisted suicide. You don't support death row. You don't support execution. I'm also assuming you're vegan and that you're super pro-earth and like, oh my gosh, we have to save the earth. I'm assuming you and any of your kids are fully vaccinated. I'm assuming you donate to the homeless and try to help them out, or am I going a little too far with this? The government has always regulated ethics. We put people in jail for murder because it's taking away someone else's right to live. Okay? As a society, we have deemed it is not okay to take someone else's life. Except when it's a defenseless baby. It's not a baby. It is not a baby. It's a fetus. Until it comes out of the womb, it is not a baby. The essay argument is insanely used by the Luciferians, but in reality, in the most recent quantifiable statistics, approximately 888,000 abortion deaths took place in the United States in 2019. SA accounts for less than 1%. So, the Luciferians use this as a trigger because it hits a trigger point. Just because it's less than 1% doesn't mean it's any less important. It also allows for the death of almost 1 million babies a year in the US alone because of less than 9,000 pregnancies from SA. We also prosecute people for 2 murders when they murder pregnant women. We recognize the life. There is no, aside from the killing part, that is the satanic ritual, baby sacrifice. Okay, so if a fetus is a baby, then you're allowed to claim it on your insurance. You're allowed to claim it on your taxes. You're allowed to whatever, because it's a human, right? And yes, you will get, if you murder a pregnant woman, you will be prosecuted for 2 murders because that was not your body. And it is okay. Here's how it is. There's a woman. She has a baby in her good old-fashioned body. Okay? That baby is a part of her. But it's recognized as a life at a certain here. It's really complicated. Hold up. Okay. So, the baby is in the mother's body. Okay? The mother decides whether or not they want to keep the baby, right? So, it's their body and it's their choice what they do with their body. And since the baby is not technically alive, they get that choice. But if someone comes along and murders that woman and the child dies, there was still something in there that could have been alive. So yeah, that's why it's 2 murders. Because you took the life of the mother and killed the child. That would have been assumed to have been, like, it will then be assumed that the pregnant woman was planning on giving birth to that child and raising the child. So it's like, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it's complicated, but that's not a thing, really. I don't think. At least not here, I don't think. Made a post in a mom group where I had a crisis in my pregnancy and felt desperate. IDK, what made this woman think her response was appropriate? I'm not sure, but I'm sorry. Maybe be referred to a specialist. Not sure if they need to wait until closer to 20 weeks for a better look at the anatomy. Praying for you and your baby. Oh, that's stressful. My mom warned me not to have a baby soon after getting married because our firstborn was a 25-week preemie, but we decided that even if our baby was born with any disabilities, it wasn't going to lower our or their quality of life. So here I am, 3 years married and 3rd baby on the way, and my older sister, the 25-weeker, is blind, has autism, but thanks to my amazing parents, she lives independently. Can you believe how big our babies are at this age? The app I was reading said they've already got frowning faces. That was a weird thing to write. Couldn't even wait until the ink was dry before they started exploiting vulnerable people. That is disgusting. Do you know someone who will now have to give birth to a baby by recent Supreme Court ruling? That person would consider putting up the child for adoption. Would you please be so kind to press on this Twitter handle? If you're pregnant, in trouble, and need help, we are here. I don't know. This person just sounds like they're trying to help. I don't know, man. Come on, baby daddy. Can't you just break up with your new girlfriend and support me, our kids, my kids that aren't yours, my boyfriend, and my boyfriend's kids? That's not asking for too much, right? My daughter's father has a new girlfriend and a new job. He's doing really well. He always gives me money. He even helps me with my other kids who aren't his. But Sond his girlfriend. Oh, soon his girlfriend came into the picture, and he still gives me money and takes his daughter every weekend, but he brings to the GF. I don't like her and told him to break up with her. He won't, so now he's going on child support. What's a reasonable amount to ask the court for? I'm a stay-at-home mom and would like to stay a stay-at-home mom. Also, my current boyfriend is a stay-at-home dad, and we need the support since we aren't/won't be working. No! Absolutely not. You are wanting funding. You want someone else to pay for your life, is what you're asking. So, you're mad because your boyfriend found someone he likes, and he's still paying you, and so you don't let your daughter go see him anymore. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, why are you concerned about your adult child's breasts? Hello, moms. My 18-year-old daughter wears a bra size of 36C. I recently observed she is starting a little sagging already. Is this normal? What could be the reason? If my mom ever did this to me, I would freak out. Yeah, what the hell? Why are you posting this on Facebook as well? Like, holy. I caught off the top she attached, but it was of her kids pantless pooping on the floor of her car. We're traveling next week and need COVID tests. Where are y'all going for your under 3-year-olds? Any telehealth recommendations? Pick of my two. What the friggle piggle? Hoping women will educate themselves on all of the available methods to prevent any unwanted pregnancies. Abortion has become the go-to route to discard unwanted babies. As human beings, that is heartbreaking and unnecessary. To me, it is shameful that it takes a Supreme Court ruling to attempt to reduce the slaughtering of the unborn. Here's the tea. Most women who do get abortions have taken preemptive measures, and sometimes those things don't work, and sometimes they can't afford those things, and sometimes things just happen, and suddenly they're pregnant, and there's a kid that they can't take care of. Yeah. Found this and it made me think of this group. New version of Operation just has players use essential oils instead of performing a medical procedure. Lavender for a sore throat? Really? The only essential oils I recommend are for stuffy noses. Eucalyptus is amazing. Whenever I smell it, it reminds me of home and makes me all teary-eyed. But it really does help with stuffy noses, and it's like instant relief, and it's like, and it smells so good. Super calming. It smells great. And when I was younger, I used to like put a few drops on my neck and stuff, so then I would smell like eucalyptus all day. I really like the smell. I'm honestly so confused. Is this okay, or should I say something about it? This girl is due to have her second any day now. I know, not my baby, not my problem. But I also kind of care about this stuff. She told me her daughter has stomach issues now and doesn't like food. And now it makes sense. She told me that months ago, too. But she's kind of pressing that advice I've never heard in my life. Oh, this is gonna be real funny. Gender disappointment is a real thing, but this is next level. Okay, let's dive into this. This is going to be a pain. I am really struggling with gender disappointment. I don't even think. Oh, I can zoom in. I don't even think it qualifies. And disappointment. It's a lot more than that. I have been in counseling for it, and as soon as I found out it was another girl, it's not helping. I have been lying to my husband and said that I hadn't gotten the NIPT results yet. We have two girls who were very wanted because growing up it was my sister and I, and we were close, and that was important to me. I loved their rooms, and they're joined by an adorable Jack and Jill bathroom. We specifically picked our house to have the girls' rooms connected, and another one across the hall for our son. I am high risk because I have had a miscarriage ectopic that nearly killed me because it ruptured even though I did the methotrexate. I also learned that a lot of fertility problems I have can be passed on to my girls, and I had not known that at the time as I didn't have any issues. When my oldest at 16 and youngest at 23. Oh, when I had my oldest at 16 and my youngest at 23. After that, it's been loss after loss. We did sorting and heavily swayed for our boy. We didn't want to just do nothing and expect to get what we wanted and complain if it didn't work. We considered IVF to ensure it, but because I can get pregnant despite only having one tube now and damaged ovaries, we decided to try other things. So we didn't take away appointments for women who couldn't get pregnant. I figured out that between the sorting and planning and due to what I have been through, I couldn't get this one thing I wanted, since I don't ask for anything hardly ever. I don't feel as I'm entitled to what I want or that I deserve it without having to have gone through things I have gone through. Those things to earn it would not have handed to me. I am upset. I went through all of that. Oh, this is long. Through all of that and worked hard and didn't even have to apparently because it didn't make a difference. I know people say that as long as the baby is healthy, it shouldn't matter, or that the people who don't have losses are the ones who feel this way, but I exist. Not that I really want to right now. I want so badly to have a boy, and my husband to have a junior. I'm very conflicted with not even wanting to continue the pregnancy and just do the IVF because I do not want 4 kids or hiding that it is a girl from everyone, including my husband, and just telling him it's a boy and never letting him change a diaper. Okay. Obviously, I would do a home birth and find a midwife or doula and tell them I don't want any gender-oriented things mentioned or said, and have them quickly take the baby to get wrapped up so the lack of boy parts won't be noticed. I definitely should not have a home birth with my medical problems, but I would be willing to risk that. I'm so scared for my 2 girls that because I didn't know that these fertility problems were hereditary, that they might also have problems that run in our family, like PCOS, fibroids, recurrent miscarriages, recurrent ectopics, hemorrhages during childbirth, IUGR, hypertension during pregnancy, and endometriosis, that even with a full hysterectomy spreads and fuses over other organs together, causing organ failures, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, ECT. These things either I personally have or immediate family members have or have died from. Since we found out that these things were genetic, we decided on a boy and made the efforts to have one because while he could have fertility issues, they aren't life-threatening or a lot less common in men, such as the breast cancer. Plus, men are treated better in the medical world, and there's much more research done that help men, while specifically women's reproductive issues are not nearly as cared about. When it comes down to it, I just can't foresee knowingly having another girl who will probably have at least one of these problems, because with the two I have, at least I know I didn't have the information I have now about these things. I basically cannot even think about girls' names, and I don't have any of this stuff from my 5-year-old anymore. I have only been able to buy boy stuff, and it's definitely not neutral. I would truthfully even switch with someone who wants a girl, but would need to know ahead of time she would probably have reproductive/fertility issues and is definitely need early scanning for cancers. Anyway, sorry for the long post. I just needed to tell anyone how I'm feeling, because I don't have anyone that I'm able to tell. I want to wait to tell anyone I was pregnant until I knew we were having a boy, but my husband was so excited he told his friends and parents. I have not told any of my family, and I don't plan to. I had tried to wait to even tell my husband, but he found a test I took. And also, when I how he felt about having about another girl, he was upset, but said he would love it regardless. I can't say the same. He's the last one for his last name, and everyone knows everyone we know has a mix of boys and girls, literally exactly everyone we know. So I don't understand why it's so difficult. It's supposedly easier to sway boy, and even took it further than that. I even paid for a psychic reading to tell me when to try for a boy. It lined up with all the gender charts, and I did all the silly stuff as well as was what was supposed to be much more scientific. Since my left tube is gone, I read that statistically more boys are from the right side. Anyways, so I was at peace with losing the left. I only wanted this one thing, this one time. Okay, first of all, we just have to fix the ending there. Women will... the person with the eggs will always produce an X chromosome for the child. The person who fertilizes the egg, whichever one of the things fertilizes the eggs, it will have an X or a Y chromosome. That's what determines gender. So, that's weird. But, you sound, very distraught. I get what you're going on about with the fertility issues. You don't want to have another kid with those issues, but, maybe you should have stopped at 2 kids. I feel like that would have been better for you. You should 100% go see a therapist. You need some help. And saying that you wouldn't even love your child if they were a girl, that's heartbreaking. Gender is nothing, really. It's just gender. Today is a sad day for women. I advise any female who is pregnant to be cautious. Wade versus Roe was overturned today. On a side note, my fiance and I are TTC. Has anyone done a VBAC or a HBAC? How did you go about it with the doctors? Essential oils for oral health. As our son started adulting, we've been surprised by the things he doesn't know. For example, we recently opened a checking account for him, and he has no clue what an ATM was, much less what it does or how to use it. He didn't know he needed his SSN to open the account. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. So he doesn't know to ask questions about basic things we take for granted: taxes, deadlines, and withholding requirements, election dates, and how to vote, filling out a deposit slip for a bank deposit, how to check the air pressure in your tires, and when to get an oil change, how to light a grill or change an air filter in the AC, or that it even needs to be changed, how to stand up for yourself when you get ripped off without being afraid of being called a Karen, that cars have a little arrow that tells you which side the gas tank is on, etc. What are some of the things you were surprised your kid didn't know when you sent them out into the great big world? We have less than 7 weeks left to fill in the gaps. Help. So you're telling me you failed as a parent? Impressive. That's not something you brag about on the internet, but okay. Now, to be fair, I don't know how to use, I don't know a couple of these things, but I'll figure it out, because if I ever need help, I know I can go to my parents, ask questions, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is how you do it, and boom, problem solved. How you should teach your children about vehicles. If your child is expected to drive a vehicle, you need to teach them about the vehicle they are driving, how to care for that vehicle, how to all that. Yeah, no, bro. Can you discipline an 8, almost 9-month? How? I was eating dinner. My son was on the far right next to me. I was watching him the whole time. One of our chihuahuas walked by him, and my son grabbed him and pinched him. It hurt the dog. I got up and immediately took my son, faced him towards me, and said no, and patted him on the butt. P.S. I'm against spanking, but I didn't know what to do in the moment. My son just started laughing, so I said, it's not funny, and sat him in his PNP. Was this the right thing to do? Please don't judge me for having my son on the floor near the dogs. Did you just... Your kid is too young to understand. Your kid is too young to understand. My husband and I have had an open relationship. We completely stopped doing anything with anyone else in the middle of last month. So rewind to the end of April, I took a Plan B pill and had a period on May 2nd. I did hook up with someone on the 8th and the 15th of May. I found out today that I'm pregnant. How concerned should I be that this baby is not my husband's? I don't know, man. Hey guys, I messed up and had 4 different children to 4 different men. And now all 4 are asking to see their children after not seeing them in years. Yes, I was preggers back to back. And one wants custody, the other wants to marry me, the third wants to have another baby with me, and the 4th ghosted me. I'm not sure what to do. At crossroads here, do you think I can be with 2 of them at the same time to cut down on the drama if they were okay with it? Thank you so much. Okay. So you messed up real bad. But I'm going to give you real advice. Okay. Number 1. Talk to the first guy about the custody. What kind of custody does he want? Is there a good way to split the custody between you? Okay. Good. One wants to marry you. Do you want to marry him? If yes, then that's a good option. The third wants to have another baby with you. If you're marrying this guy, and ask him if he's okay with you having a baby with the other guy. You can... It's communication. It's key. Great profile picture. I saw a better version of this. It was an umbrella, and then there was uh rain coming down on the umbrella, and there were parents, and then there was a rainbow child. I preferred that one. I'll get called names and maybe even ratioed, but ADHD does not exist. It does not exist as its own disorder. That is, ADHD is purely a result of diet and hormones caused by your diet. Fix your diet and fix your mind. If you don't have anything nice to say, then please move on. I've been with my fiance for 5 years. He happens to be my second cousin, and I just read that in KY you cannot marry your second cousin. Has anyone had success with such a thing? We have 5 healthy children together, if that makes a difference. I'm looking for guidance to go about obtaining the marriage license after all these years. Thank you. I did not know that marrying your second cousin was not allowed in KY. I don't know which state that is. I don't know what to tell you. Legally, where I live, you can marry your cousin, so I think you can. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, try to find a state that you can get married in. I don't know. Star sign disappointment. Okay. TWMC. I don't know what that means. Actually, I just predicted what that means. I think it's miscarriage. My sister has 2 boys that are 7 and 14 years old. She's 32 and just wanted to try her luck for one more while she is young. We all badly wanted a girl for her, as she is the more girly one in our family. She found out it's a boy. She was still happy and didn't mind at all, especially as she is a child care teacher. She unfortunately miscarried at 26 weeks and about 5 months ago. I'm currently 9 weeks and have found it out. I realized I was going to have a Capricorn and was sad, and then snapped out of that after remembering about my sister. I hope we both have healthy pregnancy and baby, no matter when or what gender. Hey, no offense, but what's the disappointment with a Capricorn for? It's just a horoscope. I've heard of gender disappointment, but not star sign disappointment. Just because your sister had a miscarriage doesn't mean that your star sign disappointment isn't valid. I agree with this, but also understanding disappointment. Having a miscarriage with my first, it's a bloody heartbreaking. But also, I have a boy on the way nearly 26 weeks, and it has put so much in perspective for me. I'd love a girl one day, but I believe children are spiritual beings that come to us or don't come to us for very good reasons and life lessons. So in saying that, I'm truly grateful to be a mom, even if it's going to be only a boy mom. Could come early and be a Sagittarius. My boy was due a Gemini like me, but came out on the last day of Taurus, which I was glad about as one. Gemini in the house is manic enough. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for today because I went way over the time, but I enjoyed this one. It was funny. I'm going to go drink like 6 cups of water because you could probably tell my voice went from meh to so yeah. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.